This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, cause that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Okayest Hunter podcast, coming at you from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. It is September 22nd, 11:38 p.m. It's Sunday night, and I'll schedule this to air live. So if you catch it on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you watch this live, it'll appear as though I'm live, but I'm not. I'll be at Disney World with the family, so I'm pre-recording an episode. And since everything got put into crunch time, I didn't have a good opportunity or make a good opportunity to get a guest or find time to do an episode. So I'm just gonna kind of cover a couple things on today's show for the week, and then we'll be back to our normal programming or whatever the following week. So shout out to Nosler for sticking with us here this year and being pals of the show and being our presenting sponsor. So if you want to save some money on Nosler ammunition, you can go to nosler.com. Use code OHP at checkout. That is across the board for all of our partners. That goes for Latitude, Spartan Forge, Rack Hub, Muck Boots, and even Riton Optics. You might hear their ad ahead of the show as a pre-recorded ad. So lots of partners that like our listeners, and hopefully our listeners like them, and everyone's kind of benefiting here. Y'all are saving some money, they're getting some business, and we get to do some cool stuff with some cool brands. Anyway, so I was able to get out and go hunting on what did I go hunting? Saturday, and it it was hot. It was like 85, almost 90 degrees on Saturday, so I didn't have super high hopes, but the only day I could go, so I figured, well, might as well go. And I wanted to go mess with and tinker with one of my cell cams that stopped sending pictures, so I didn't know what the deal was with that. And I was talking with Derek, and I was like, "Dude, how should I go about this? Is it even worth going in there? Because it's been before it stopped working, it was giving some of the best intel, the better the two cameras I'd hung on this property. It's a small property, and I've been so busy, and it's still so hot out that I know it's hunting season, but it just didn't occur to me. And he's like, "Why don't you just hunt?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, shit, why don't I just hunt?" Well, let me think about that. Let me see what the wife says, because we're packing to go on a week-long vacation with the family. On Tuesday morning, we're leaving at 6:30, so lots of stuff to take care of. And she had been doing some cool things. She's a very busy gal, my wife. She's getting her master's degree and taking care of our family and running the household and all that stuff. So it's a lot. And she was able to go get her hair done and get some dinner with friends. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you should totally go hunt. Then I won't have guilt." I was like, "Wow, my plan from last year finally came to fruition and worked this year. Like, this is great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear." So got the green light, free and clear, and took the t- took the God, I'm tired because it's late. It's almost midnight. The solo canoe up the river to a spot, and it was a south facing, or the wind was blowing out of the south. Don't ask me what direction it is. I don't know if that means it's a north wind, but it was blowing out of the south to the north, and I didn't want to give up any scent at all. And there's nowhere to put up a saddle in this area or a tree stand. Not at least not a ton of spots. And with the wind coming out of the bedding area, I just it didn't make a lot of sense. I don't want to be in there mucking it up on a hot, first of the season kind of thing. I figured I'd go lightly hunt the area, not lay any traces down of my scent being there, and blah blah blah. So I go to the spot and hang up on the edge of this bedding. It was great. It was a nice sit. Some storms passed through. It wasn't supposed to storm on Saturday, but it did. Got pretty like windy. It was like downpouring. So I just covered up under this tree canopy for a little bit and weathered that out. And then it let up, and I was like, now that it's rained a bunch, I can kind of move in quietly. Scent won't be as big of a deal, maybe. Um, so I was actually texting Derek, and I was like, I think I'm gonna press in a little bit. He's like, yeah, you should do that. I'm not kidding. The literal first step I took out of the spot I was in, I had two doe blow at me, and I was like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. They were just in thicker in the cover where I couldn't see them or hear them. They were right there, and I didn't realize it. Would they have come out? I don't know. Would I shot them? I don't know. It was a doe and a doe fawn, I think. So whatever. I was like, that's fine. It's early still. I got lots of time before last light. I still had an hour left or so before last light. So I pressed in a little bit. Um, and then I had another doe just just blow at me. And this doe, uh, like it was her life's mission to let everyone know that I was there. It wasn't like she blew and then ran off, then came back and head bobbed, weaved, blew some more, stomped some more, trotted off, trotted back, trotted closer. She got within like 8 or 10 yards of me, and I couldn't see her because I had some stuff in front of me, so, and she couldn't really see me, but I think she knew I was there, even though the wind wasn't totally in her favor, so she was just not entirely sure. She knew something was off. So this went on for like 30 minutes, this doe, and I was like, "I'm gonna freaking shoot you. I'm over it. You can just get out of here." Um, a shot obviously never presented itself. I didn't take the shot. I did go mess with my trail cam or my cell cam. I think the batteries are dead in it. I don't know how that happened. The other one's totally fine. This one it just stopped working. I got it home, tried to swap out the SD. I took it down because it wasn't working at all. So that's a whole different story and topic of conversation. I still have not sure what the hell happened. What is wrong? I can't get the SD card read on my computer. It shows up, but, like, there's no data, so I don't it doesn't make any sense because it had sent plenty of photos, before it stopped working. So then I plugged it in, that didn't do anything, it wouldn't turn on, so I just think I have to get some new batteries maybe? I'm not sure. Um, but a good first sit for the season, for an Okayest Hunter for sure. It was a nice time to be out even though it rained and stuff. I enjoyed it. I did make a run to my local archery shop, Whale Tails in Dousman, and, they sell Sitka and Kuiu and some other, like, really high-end camel brands, and I've never purchased Sitka anything ever in my life, but I'd done some reviews on or not, I read some reviews or done some research on their, Equinox Insect Guard, and the reviews were, like, 5 out of 5 across the board, like, several of them. I eventually was like, "Okay, I get the point. It sounds like it works." And then I compared it against First Light stuff, the mosquito stuff, and then I was, like, looking at forums, which is probably not a great idea, but I put a post in a forum, like a mobile hunter forum, and, everyone's like, "Dude, the Sitka stuff is legit, blah, blah, blah." It was like $125, I think, for the lightweight, like base layer, early season light stuff. It's a synthetic base layer with this mosquito, like, I think there's permethrin in the fabric, but it's also so tightly knit or woven that the mosquitoes apparently can't penetrate it. So, I mean, I hate mosquitoes. I don't that's everyone knows that. And, so I brought my thermostat. Well, I forgot to grab another butane, so that thing ran out, and, I was covered up in mosquitoes. I was thick in this, like, canary grass stuff and this thick shrubbery area of this bottom, along, a waterway, and, I I didn't get a single bite. I couldn't believe it. I was talking to Derek, and he's like, "Oh, man, I got bit up like crazy. They were all over me." He's like, "I also think I have that kind of blood that they like," and there are certain people that do just get it worse. I probably don't get it as bad as other people. When I do, I have a very low threshold for it, and, um, that was the big win of the night for me is I didn't get any freaking mosquito bites, so I have no affiliation with Sitka at all, and, it's totally off brand for us, but I was like, "When it comes to mosquitoes, I'll pay whatever it takes." Like, I'm not trying to get bit up out there, and it was honestly, it's pretty impressive. So, the lightweight garment is hot until it after rained, it cooled down a little bit, but I was pretty comfortable, and I was wet, so then it wicked away nicely. So, overall, I was honestly, pretty damn impressed. So maybe there is something to, buying better gear. Uh, I'm just waiting for the days to cool off so I can put my flannel and my kill flannel on and get that whole thing going, but yeah, good time to be out there. I'll be gone for a week on vacay. Then October is this another school. So we had all 3 kids' birthdays in September. So all my kids, had a birthday on in the month of September. So the last one was just this last Friday. So we're done with birthday month. But then we get into my wife's birthday's in October and our wedding anniversary is in October. And then we take a trip for a wedding to the West Coast in the end of October. So I'll be hopeful that I can hunt my ass off come November for the first 2 weeks of the rut, pending work can tolerate it, because I've taken PTO for these trips. So it's a tricky thing. And all this stuff is really busy. I can't tell you how many late nights I've had uploading content. I'm waiting for 2 videos to upload right now to YouTube, but I'm gonna be up very early again tomorrow to get them uploaded to Carbon TV. And so we got the Dropping Pins episode with Derek, who's been running that. His episode with Tony Peterson dropped. By the time you'll hear this, it will have already dropped. On Monday at 5 a.m., we schedule those drops. So that goes out into podcast land and YouTube at 5 a.m. every Monday. And then obviously with the network, we manage a bunch of other shows. So the Boyer podcast and the Western Territory and Upduck and Okayest Fisher and Okayest Trapper. I've put in some effort into like their album cover art and getting those scheduled because I'm not going to be here this week and I'm not going to be trying to work while I'm with my family. I just want to like not work and do stuff. So I'm trying to front load everything I possibly can. So lots of stuff. But if you haven't checked out the podcasts on our network, Camp Okayest, Okayest Fisher, Okayest Trapper, the Boyer podcast, Western Territory podcast. I know Elizabeth with the Onset podcast is starting to kind of get that back up and running. So stay tuned with hers as well. The Okayest Cook, those guys have been cooking up a storm with content and food. There's a lot of stuff on the network with more on deck. Believe it or not, we have I think 1 or 2 more shows coming by the end of this year, hopefully for sure, maybe even 3. So we're at 12 shows on the network. If you count Dropping Pins, we'll be at I think 15 or so by the end of the year, which is just kind of cool. Again, it's all pretty organic. You can expect the same tone and flavor of voice, mantra, yada yada, just different subject matters and things that you might be interested in. So Southern News is another good one too. Those guys are great down in I don't know what part of Southern, because I'm too tired. I'm like, if I close my eyes, I'm gonna fall asleep if I blink too long. But theirs is like wildlife, habitat, and land management, just all around great shows on the network. But again, so Derek's will be dropping on Monday, which you will have already heard because I've already said that. No, I'm starting to ramble in circles. Um, what the hell was I going to say after all that? Oh yeah, our show is the last episode is going to air Sunday. What is this Sunday coming up? Whatever the date is for this Sunday, it's the 22nd now. So 1 week from today, at 6 a.m. that one's gonna drop. I've been trying to experiment to play around with different times for uploads or publish dates or whatever. I've tried like Wednesdays, I've tried Fridays, I'm gonna try Sunday. I don't know if there's a good, better, best time for that stuff. I think a lot of it has to do with the type of content. I think people are confused too that we have like this series or episodic or like TV, I put in air quotes, esque show. I think people just think it's more podcast stuff, and I probably could do a better job with the coloration to distinguish the two or something. I'm not sure. There are separate playlists on our YouTube channel and our Carbon TV, so you can, look at both. But it probably is maybe a little confusing, and I'd love some feedback from everybody too. I can see there's views there. I just a few folks that I know personally have like, oh, I've watched the show. It's great. Thanks so much. But if you haven't checked it out, really, we're trying to like figure out we're filming now for, the 24 season, which won't debut till 25. So if there is feedback, like let us know so we can try to incorporate things. And then what we're going to be doing too is we're going to start doing short films. We're going to try one. We like to try stuff before we like go full tilt. So we're trying this hunt with Derek and Greg, and they're going to go visit our buddy Lyndon Lauren in Oregon and do a blacktail hunt. And then Keegan with Wildlife Photog Media is going to go and capture some content of those guys. So they're going to fly out there on October 15th, which is my wedding anniversary. And they're going to do a hunt with him. And hopefully they might have some extra time on their hands. It'd be cool if they do, because it sounds like they might be touring the Nosler manufacturing plant and another brand that we're in the works or in the talks of working with right now that's in that area too. So could be kind of cool to get a little bit of like, hey, like they're obviously gonna be it's a gun hunt, rifle hunt, so they're gonna be shooting nozzle ammunition. It'd be cool to kind of get some of that history and how those things are put together and made, meet some of the people, and then go on the hunt and like hopefully they have a successful hunt. Or I mean, it's Greg and Derek. It's going to be entertaining, no matter what, and a damn good time. I'm sure. I'm really sad that I can't go. I'm a little envious, but very excited and enthused that we're able to send them to go do that. I think that's a pretty neat thing. So that'll be our first ever short film. So we'll have short films that we're going to start to kick off and see how that goes. Um, and then we have our episodic, the Okayest Hunter show, which has been traditionally deer hunting, and traditionally, like we've been doing it for 2 years. So year one was all deer hunting with some duck. The season that's airing right now is deer, duck, or like waterfowl and upland. I'd like to start to incorporate fishing content too from the OK's fishers, even trapping stuff and Western terraces. I want to incorporate more. It's hard when you don't have a budget, and the videographers we use are good, and they command a rate that they deserve. So we can only do so much because we're just not a big company yet. So ideally, we'd be, running cameras with a lot of the folks on our network around the country to get some really interesting, fun content for everybody. And our whole shtick is like relatable. I know a lot of it's like circus music and we're goofballs, but we just I don't know. We're not trying to over dramatize deer hunting. Like it still is good quality, videography, but it's just not overly cinematic or overly dramatized, if you will. Like we're not setting a camera down and then walking past it or things like that. It's just kind of running and gunning. What we get is what we get, kind of thing. And then we kind of fish the story narrative out after the fact and see like what was our story arc? Do we have one? What can we tease out? What makes sense? We don't really go into it with a bend. So very fun style, but if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our Carbon TV app channel, which I think you could get on your TV or your phone, much like you can with the YouTube app. Similar, you can get that on your TV or your phone as well. And I think you can watch on your computer too. So lots of fun places to get that. Inventory on stuff. Now I'm just running through some BS. I all our hats are back in. All of our Can't Eat the Horns patch hats are back in. We have a new one, a new grandpa style one with the rope in blaze orange. It's kind of with a brown rope, and then we have all of our Richardson 112s, the charcoal gray, the heather gray, the brown and yellow patch, the brown with yellow patch, coffee khaki white, um, all those hats. We did run out of red can koozies. It's actually called can coolers because koozies is trademarked. You can't call them that apparently, but we're trying to find a new supplier for these. So stand by. It's yeah, our supplier that we had doesn't make them anymore or something. I'm not sure what happened. It's kind of weird. So hopefully we'll get more of those back in soon. I'm personally like one of my favorite things that we make. So it's kind of cool. I think that's kind of it for now. I just wanted to share my hunt from the weekend as a recap because I didn't have a lot else to come on the show to talk about. No calls because I'm doing this at now it's about midnight on Sunday. So I think that's kind of it. I mean, good luck to everybody this season. Hopefully your season's off to a good start. If it already started, if it's about to start, good luck, have fun, be safe, like safety first, and enjoy yourselves. Like we look forward to this all year long. Don't worry about, comparison being the thief of all joy and like worrying what other people are doing. Just worry about yourself, hunt your own hunt. Um, yeah, I don't know. Have some adventures, bring your kids with or try something new, try something different, go at it a different angle, look at it a different way. Um, it's just that every year you're going to learn something new every single year, and you're going to get better and better every single year, and you're going to continue to be humble. I promise. It's one of the things I love about deer hunting. It can be frustrating in the moment for sure, but it's a damn good time. I think I don't know the thing I was going to say about that. Oh, we have the fulfill your tag thing going on, but the stickers that we have shipped to the wrong like, we didn't get them, they went somewhere else. So they got shipped back to the manufacturer, and now they're getting shipped back to us. So, we should have possession of those. I'm gonna guess it's gonna happen this week when I'm gone. Um, I'm excited to show everybody what they look like, and it's gonna be really cool and ends up on a coin. But if you're going to buy your hunting license, there's so when I bought mine, I donated I think the maximum I could do for the preset was $10. So I donated an extra $10 to conservation through the Wisconsin DNR Go Wild app when I went to go purchase. And so if you do something like that, whatever state you're hunting, screenshot it on your phone or computer, or take a picture of it or whatever. Send it to us at sales@okayesthunter.com with subject line fulfill your tag, and we will catalog the extra money earned as a collective community to show that we can, uh, really contribute as a whole to conservation. And it's my belief and our belief that conservation or hunting is conservation, and that's one of the things that I want to like really stress and try to execute against. So we'll get these stickers here soon. We'll get them on our site. We'll get pictures and some posts and some emails out to try to like really blow this thing up. This is year one, so we're going to kick the tires of this campaign. In year two, hopefully we have the coins, and by year two, we'll have some participation, and like proof points to bring to our partners and say, hey, can we do a match? Do you guys want to match up to like 5% or something of whatever we raise? How much can we raise as a collective community for conservation? So Sam Soholt kind of helped me figure this idea out a little bit. I told him what I was thinking. I'm not really good at this stuff when it comes to like his Stamp It Forward, such a great concept. And he's done such a great job for conservation as a single dude. He's rallied a lot of support and participation from end users like, hunters and anglers like ourselves, but then also big brands, and to put out big dollars to really move the needle. So I'm hopeful that we can start to make some ripples in a small pond here, and maybe some waves, and graduate in some lakes, and kind of, metaphorically, do some good here. We have this platform, we have a lot of fun and gitchy stuff, and it's relatable, ha ha ha. But we want to do good as much as we can. I know we just cut our 2% for conservation check to them and to our conservation partner, Waukesha County Land Conservancy. And it was the biggest check we've cut to them to date. And even though, like, you see that money leave an account that doesn't really have any money in it, and I haven't been paid a single penny off this business. And it's kind of like a blow. You're like, oh shit, man, that's a lot of coin. It was a super proud moment because we just donated the biggest check we've ever donated to this organization that we love and believe in, because they do such a great job. They're such good stewards of true conservation. So it's super local, but it was just a really neat thing, and I'm very enthused and excited that that's all coming from like our merchandise sales and the partnerships that we have. It's 1% of our total revenue that got a check cut to this organization, like, and then obviously it's all notarized and validated, so then 2% gives us their stamp to just say, "Hey, yep, you are doing that. Good for you." Like, it's noted. So pretty cool stuff. Hopefully, we get some participation around the fulfill your tag, from everyone that listens and participates or like engages. I just think it'd be really cool. And again, I'm excited to show you the design of this thing. I think that might help. Not that you're going to do it for a sticker. That's not the point. We want to be able to give something back to people to say, hey, thank you. You can have this now. And this is like a one time deal. Uh, I think that's all I have to ramble about. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and you enjoyed the podcast. It's been a pretty promo. I'm so tired, guys. Podcast, but follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast. We get a lot of DMs that y'all love the stuff that we do, and we appreciate that a bunch. Honestly, like every time we get those type of notes or messages, we screenshot them, send to our group message of me, Tyler, Derek, Greg, Matt, and the WhatsApp that we have with the rest of the podcasters, and we just share that positivity because it's good to get feedback and know that we're doing something that people are hearing. Podcasts tend to be a one-way street where I'm communicating to you and I get nothing back, which is why I like the live call-in thing that we do in the comments stuff. So usually on a regular Tuesday night when we're live, we have the phone lines open and the comments are flowing in, and I love the engagement. Doing this one-way thing isn't really my jam, especially when there's no one in the studio here to drink. I don't have a bourbon in my hand. I don't have a water. I've got nothing. So I'm gonna hit the end button here and get this thing produced and scheduled. I'll see you guys and gals next week, when I'm back. I think we're rolling with Bear Archery again right away. We got some fun things to talk about with those guys, some big announcements coming down the pike, which they had referenced last time. So we just want to double back with them to kind of help kick that off. So have a good I don't know when people listen to this, if it's at night or if it's in the morning or the middle of the day. That might be some other good feedback. So let us know what you guys want from us in terms of guests, content, published date, going live times, all that stuff. I'd love to hear from everybody. Everyone have a great week and good luck this hunting season.